Over 80% of North China's Shanxi province is covered in mountains. The Taihang Mountains and the Yellow River mark its natural boundaries. Shanxi is one of the cradles of Chinese civilization. Our journey around Shanxi starts at the Taihang Mountains. We join workers on the face of a cliff, go downstream to see rolling peaks, and then join farmers for the harvest in a mountain hamlet. These Spider-Men are working hundreds of meters above ground. Their job is to deal with dangerous rocks that could fall from the cliffs and hit the road beneath. In the distance, people and vehicles wait patiently until the work is done. These are the Taihang Mountains. Shanxi province sits to their west. Wangmang Ridge sits 1,665 meters above sea level. Along with many similar peaks, it forms a giant platform where the Loess Plateau unfolds. Looking down from the ridge gives you a commanding view of the Taihang Mountains. These are peak walls. The Taihang Mountains have the longest peak walls in the world. The lack of soil and moisture needed for vegetation and exposure to wind and severe cold often lead to rock disintegration. Debris frequently falls off whenever an earthquake strikes. As the walls grow thinner, only peak clusters remain. Someday, these peak clusters will fall to reveal new peak walls, and the cycle will continue. As we go down, we hear the sound of a whistle. The whistling sounds are warnings used to prevent collisions at these sharp, right-angled turns. This waterway is the same as when there was a plain here. When the peaks rose from the ground, the river continued eroding them for 1.8 billion years. The Spider-Men finish their work and the road is opened to traffic again. This road was carved out by the people of the Xiya Valley with just hammers and chisels over a period of 3 decades. It is 600 meters high and stretches for 7.5 kilometers. 1/5 of it is inside the mountain. The Spider-Man are the descendants of the people who built this road. Many things can be done with technology today, but a mountain presents a very special challenge. In the past, travellers trying to get to the other side had to find the pass where the range fractures and serves as a natural gateway into the mountains. For over 2,500 years, chariots and wagons passed through the Baixing ancient road. "72 spectacular bends took them on a winding route up the mountain. But despite all this, passing over the peak still proved impossible, so a road was carved along the side of the mountain. It was only 50 years ago that a new road was built below the passage. The once busy ancient road and its entrance are now hidden away in the vault of history. Many people would want to leave such a remote area, but some are determined to stay. The people of Yuejiajai village have long since become used to life at an altitude of 1,300 meters. Their ancestors settled down here 600 years ago. The villagers here have opened up terraced fields enclosed by dry stone walls, some as narrow as 2 meters. 2,000 terraces like this have been formed over the last 600 years. The persimmons have ripened. It's time for the villagers to pick them. A long forked pole, a gentle twist, and soon the baskets are full. Life on the cliff can be monotonous, but persimmon picking provides a welcome distraction for all the family. There are nearly 100 traditional villages like this tucked away in the Taihang Mountains. Sometimes life here can be very exciting. On the city wall, a special fireworks show is about to take place. Scrap iron is heated. The show can only begin when the molten liquid is so hot that it turns white. The molten iron is thrown from the 9-meter-high wall, creating a spectacular display in the sky. Despite the risk of being scalded, the performers throw the liquid ever higher, drawing even greater gasps from the crowd. The The show is always performed on the 15th day of the first lunar month to celebrate the harvest of the previous year and to welcome an equally prosperous new year.